Afternoon, it's Matt McCormick, President, Columbia Chamber of Commerce. This week I'm coming to you from outside, out on my deck. Decided to get a little bit of sunshine and enjoy that as we start heading into the weekend. Want to give you a recap of what happened this week, all the good things that happened this week, and then give you a heads up of what's coming up next week. So this week we had two more webinars. On Tuesday we had a webinar on HR and labor law issues. So we talked about different things that your company needs to be looking at with the different rules that have come down from the federal government on the HR and labor law side of things. So, and even as simplistic as making sure that you have work remote policies in place, and if you haven't put those in place and your people have been working remotely already, it's okay, go ahead and send that out, put those together and send those out to them. We also talked about on Thursday, we talked about payroll tax credits and Social Security deferments. What this is, these are two more programs that came out of the relief acts out of the federal government, and they're really put in place for cash flow for your company or your organization, especially if you don't get the chance to take advantage of the PPP program, the payroll protection program, if you don't quite fit into that, or the SBA loan. This gives you some other options for some good to help your business and your organization with cash flow. We also talked about the Paycheck Protection Program that started up last Friday, actually. That started, and on Thursday last week we did a webinar on how to go through that process, and so many rules have changed. That's one of those that the product was put out necessarily before the process was given to all of our financial institutions from the federal government. And so we talked about some of the updates on that and what was going on with that, and then also talked about the fact that today actually started the Paycheck Protection Program for our sole proprietors and our self-employed, and so what's coming forward with those. And but we want to take a second and say a big thank you. Thank you to all of our financial institutions. They worked so hard all last week. I know many of the financial institutions that I've talked to and that our team have talked to worked through the weekend, late into the nights to take care of all of our businesses. And as we've talked to businesses, the attitude today versus what it was 10 days ago, totally different attitude. So we want to say a big thank you to our financial institutions for making that happen. Y'all worked around the clock and made some very, very good things happen for a lot of our businesses in our community. Make sure you check out our website. We've got some new updates, some new SBA updates that are available there. There is also a new chart that the SBA has put out. And the chart compares all the different programs that you can take a look at, what's going to work best for you. So make sure you're doing that. And we also encourage you through this process, when you're looking at whether it be the Paycheck Protection Program, or you're looking at the deferments or the payroll tax credits or an SBA loan, one of the things that we want to make sure that we encourage you to do is sit down with your financial advisor, those that you already have a relationship with. Sit down with your CPA that you have a relationship with, and really look at your organization and say, which one's going to be best for me today and tomorrow as we look into the future. So some good things also happened last week. One of the things, wanted to send a big thank you to the City of Columbia, the City Council. On Monday night, they approved a couple different things. One of the things they approved on was new regulations and process for permits, starting to issue building permits again. This came from some conversations that took place and with the city manager, with Stephanie Browning, with Health and Human Services, and our construction community. So the Home Builders Association, the Board of Realtors, a couple of folks in the construction industry sat down and really took a look at, is there a way that the City of Columbia could start issuing new build permits? What is a way that we can find a solution to that? And there was a solution found, and that was fantastic to really watch these groups come together and figure out what's going to be the solution, with the number one thing, making sure that the health and safety of our citizens and of the employees, all those are being kept in the forefront. And so congratulations and thank you, and City Council moved forward on that on Monday, and that was a big win, and we appreciate everybody's help on that. The other thing is, City Council also moved forward with Randy Cole and his department at the city to move forward through some community development block grants, some CDBG leftover money, if you will, and took and repurposed some money to be able to do some small business loans. Those are going to start up next week, so this is a little teaser for that. Those will start next week, and the details and all those will be out on Monday through different departments, through different places, the city, for for one, and then we'll also be sending some stuff out. So be looking for that next week. Some good news also, if you don't watch it, if you haven't checked out the city's website, which is como.gov/coronavirus. This is where they keep up-to-date numbers. The really good numbers that came out was the fact that we actually have more people that have recovered from coronavirus than are currently sick with coronavirus, and that is fantastic news. What that means is the things that you've been doing, the stay-at-home orders, the precautions that you're taking, it's working. And it's working well. So now's not the time to slow down with that. Now's not the time to get slack with that. Now's the time to continue doing what you're doing. And so we can encourage you to do so and continue the stay-at-home order, to continue only being out for essential services, so that we can help take care of our frontline workers, our health personnel, all the folks that are working in the hospitals, our police and our fire, making sure everybody can do their job to keep everybody safe and healthy. So great job. That is some fantastic news. So next week, what are we going to be working on next week? Well, we got 2 more webinars. One of those webinars on Tuesday at 11 a.m. is going to be unemployment and layoffs. This is one of those, if your organization, if your companies happen to take a look at this, we want to make sure that you understand all the different options, and that the options that you can give your employees, making sure that your employees are being taken care of through this process. There's a number of things. There's a number of new rules with unemployment and the process. So making sure that you have a full understanding of that and understand all those options. The other one on Thursday is going to be a Missouri legislative update with our Senator Caleb Rowden. We appreciate, we know he is swamped. The state is working on a lot of different things through this process. One of those things is the state's budget. And so Caleb's going to be here, Senator Rowden's going to be here talking about budget, things like how's it going to affect higher education, things along those lines, and what does the legislative session look like for now and in the foreseeable future as we continue through this process. As always, our subjects are subject matters. They could change. It is a fluid process that we're going through, and so those could change. Make sure you keep your watchful eye on that. And with that, as always, stay safe, Columbia. Stay strong, and have a wonderful holiday weekend. And stay strong, Columbia. Thanks.